Hello. You're tuning into another episode of The Wunderkind Show. Today's second topic, Stephen A. Smith says, Lamar Jackson performed a choke job for the Ravens. Look, I'm going to be real with you. You know, I already know this is going to be a long offseason because the amount of hate that Lamar Jackson is going to get aimed towards him is probably going to be more now than ever before. And the reason why is because this year, Lamar and this team, because they kept winning, because they kept blowing teams out, forced a lot of people to go, hum. So they were saving a lot of things in the drafts. Because every week it was like, yeah, don't worry. This is when they're going to fall. This is when they're going to fall. This is when they're going to fall. He's going to fall in the first week of the playoffs because he's not going to the playoffs. Then they win, and it's like, oh, he's going to fall. So this was their chance after being bottled up for how many weeks consecutively to finally aim at his head. So what I'm going to play Stephen A. Smith's little rant. And then after I play it, I'm going to break it down. I'm going to give you some numbers of why this wasn't a Lamar Jackson choke job. This was a John Harbaugh choke job. I mean, straight choke it. And I mean that. So without further ado, I'm going to play it, and then we're going to break it down, all right? So let's get started.
Even a bigger story, Mahomes going back to the Super Bowl or Lamar Jackson falling short?
I think it's Lamar Jackson falling short. I hate to say it, but I believe that is the case. Mahomes is great. He's phenomenal. He's the greatest ever. We get all of that. They ended up scoring 17 points, even though that doesn't speak to how effective they were when it really counted and what him and Kelsey were doing. But the big story is Lamar Jackson. Ladies and gentlemen, with all due respect, it was a choke job. Let's just call it what it is. What is the definition of a choke job, Shannon and Dio? It's doing what you always do, what you're accustomed to doing until the moment arrives, and then you don't. That is the epitome, that is the definition of what we're talking about here. We're going to see final numbers right here, okay? 20 of 37, 54% completion, 272 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions, obviously 1 interception and 1 lost fumble with the sack. We get all of that. He was sacked 4 times, rushed for about 54 yards. That's what we'll talk about. Yeah. What we won't say enough about is that you came out looking tight. What we won't talk enough about are the overthrows, the underthrows, getting key passes swatted at the line of scrimmage. We won't talk about that. We won't, even with the bomb that he hit Zay Flowers with on the trick play. I mean, that's a touchdown if Zay Flowers doesn't have to wait for the football. And how did that end up costing you? Because a couple of plays later, you hit Zay Flowers for a touchdown, but he fumbles right before he gets to the goal line. And obviously, that's not on Lamar Jackson. But again, you had him wide open, and he waited all day, every day for the ball to land in his arms because he was wide open and was waiting for the ball, and you were a bit late getting it to him. We see all of these different things, and you know who you're going up against. It wasn't C.J. Stroud, a rookie. Okay, this was Patrick Mahomes, a 2-time Super Bowl champion, universally recognized as arguably the greatest ever until yesterday, where we're going to say he's the greatest ever. You knew you were going against that dude. You were the number 1 seed. He was coming into your house, and you knew that you were going to have to play on an elite level in order to knock him off.
I'm not even listening to more of that drivel. Look. All the things that he is saying have no context because this is what they wanted anyways. There's nothing that sells more in the NFL, and I'm including Taylor Swift in there, than Lamar Jackson hate. That junk is like fossil fuel. That junk feeds a lot of families, a lot. And I'm not even going to say Lamar played great because he didn't play great. There were times in the game where I can honestly say I wish Lamar would have just went. Just taken off. There was times in this game where I thought Lamar could have legit had 120 yards rushing. I legit think that. I think it would have been set up and it would have made the Chiefs be like, yo, it would have opened up more things. But here's my problem with the whole choke job thing. The running backs touched the ball 6 times for the game. Now, I know what a lot of you are going to say. Oh, well, when you force Lamar Jackson to pass, he just can't do it. I was hoping a lot of y'all would say that because you know me. I always got an ace in the sleeve. So what I'm going to do is, check this out. I'm going to read this to you, right? Because a lot of people said, if it was Patrick Mahomes, he had to throw that many times. He's winning, even if the running backs ran down. You know the last time running backs in a Patrick Mahomes-led offense only carried the ball 9 or 10 times for the entire game? Do you know when? The Super Bowl against the Tampa Bay Bucks. The Super Bowl where they lost 31-9. And let me show you how crazy some of these stats are. Patrick Mahomes, 26 of 49 for 270 passing yards, 5.5 yards per pass, 2 interceptions, 3 sacks. He got sacked for 27 yards, 42.2 QBR rating. Look at this. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, 9 carries by himself. Patrick Mahomes had 33 carries by himself, or 33 yards by himself, 5 carries. Tyreek Hill had 1 carry for 5 yards. Darrell Williams had 2 for 5. That's it. And, of course, Travis Kelce had 133 receiving yards, 10 receptions, no touchdown, 15 targets. Tyreek Hill had 7 for 73 for 10 targets. Guess who that sounds? Doesn't that sound like Zay Flowers' stat line? It does. Doesn't the running backs all together sound like the running back stuff for the Ravens? It does. Doesn't it sound like they struggled in that game? Yes, it does. You know why? Because it's not sustainable. And just to let you know, Lamar Jackson, if you watch the game, go back and watch the offensive line did not play well at all. Simpson was getting beat like a drum. Ronnie Stanley was getting beat like a drum. Moses was getting beat like a drum. Lamar was back there having to make multiple people miss to make the plays. The problem is that you expect La Magic, every chance he touches or throws the ball. And when he doesn't give it to you or he falls a little short, it's, we know he couldn't live up to what we said. No, because nobody could do that all game. It's not sustainable. Patrick Mahomes, the one you're calling the GOAT, can't do it. That's what bothers me. That's why it's not a choke job. Imagine looking at a quarterback because he's immensely talented and seeing 6 DBs on the field and you say, you know what we're going to do? We're going to try to pass. Even though we don't have the outside threats like some of these other teams have, right? It's not like we have Puka and what's his name? It's not like we have Chase and stuff like that. We got Zay. And Likely, who's supposed to be a monster, we didn't even target him like that. A limping Mark Andrews. Look, I get the notion where quarterbacks get all the love, all the respect, all the adulation, but that's not the case in Baltimore. When the Ravens win, do you know what y'all were saying? A lot of people are saying, Lamar's getting carried by the defense. It's that defense, not Lamar. It's that coaching, not Lamar. It's Todd Monken showing his genius working with. You remember all that stuff that was coming out. Now that they lose, it's Lamar's fault. That's all his. Yeah. It didn't matter what happened. He should have been able to win no matter what. Oh my gosh, bro. It just makes me hurt inside. Bro, because it doesn't make sense. It doesn't. Lamar Jackson dropped back almost the entire game while being down 7 points. No screens. No tight end screens. No trick plays. No nothing. Just Lamar, drop back. If nothing's there, make people miss, and hopefully the receivers reroute, and you can make a play. That was the game plan. And honestly, I'm going to be real, Todd Monken should be fired for it. But I'm not putting the blame, honestly, on Todd Monken. I'm putting it on Harbaugh. Because there's no heckin' way that you go into this game seeing what happened in previous playoff games and do the same thing you did in the Titans game. It makes no sense. None. It's going to be a long offseason, bro. It's going to be a long offseason. You know what? It's so frustrating because Lamar had an amazing season. He deserves the MVP. And to let y'all know, This is him barely scratching the surface. He's gonna if we already know Monken's gonna be there, but if Monken has another year on this team, it's gonna be another year for Lamar to get comfortable in this offense, even more comfortable, expanding on the playbook even further, adding wrinkles, knowing what he's supposed to look for at certain things. Remember, this is the first year in this offense, and he made it to the AFC Championship game and got an MVP out of it. This game should have been won. This was Raven mishaps, poor refereeing, and absolute atrocious play calling. But blame Lamar. That's the magic thing to do. Just blame Lamar. Man, get out of here with Mass Effect. Oh! Stephen A. I knew you were waiting for it. Oh! I know ESPN was waiting on it. Oh! Clark, I know you were waiting on it. Don't worry. The great thing about sports is it's just another season. Next season comes around. And we know what they're going to say. Yeah, he wins in the regular season, can't win in the playoffs. Which will, because he already won a game in the playoff, 2 games in the playoffs. Been to an AFC Championship game. But once he gets to a Super Bowl and he wins one, the same people that were saying all those things are going to say, oh, wow, I don't remember me saying it. They're going to try to change the narrative, try to erase what they said previously. It's absolutely, and it's going to be a lot of this offseason. It's not going to stop. It's going to be on absolute record. It's going to be on rewind, record, play. That's all it's going to be. But what do you guys think? Do you think it was a choke job by Lamar? Or do you think it was a choke job by John Harbaugh and Todd Monken? Let me know what you think down in the comment section, please. And y'all know where I stand with it. But as always, that's an episode of The Wunderkind Show. Thank you for watching. Y'all know how we get down. We have fun and we laugh. But everything we talk about rooted in what? Facts and truth. Please do remember, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, leave a comment. You know, love the comments. And if you have not done so already, check out The Wunderkind Show's Patreon. Yes, 3 tiers of content goodness waiting for your consumption. Give it a look, give it a try. Let me know what you think. And if you would like to donate to this channel, help out with the equipment and stuff like that, bottom of the screen, QR code. QR codes to a Cash App. Cash App is located in the description of every video that we do. And the name of it is The Wunderkind Show. Super easy. Once again, this is The Wunderkind Show. This is your host, Nigel, signing off. And as always, you know my slogan. Peace. And I am out of here. Yeah.